or what your values are, right? So you got to. That's what Charlie Kirk did. Didn't he challenge the get this out of the way?
Everything.
He challenged the thought processes and basically put them out in the light and let's talk about this. And sometimes he was a little over the top aggressive. You can see that he kind of like haha, and then he played into the ha ha ha. People would laugh when somebody asked.
Yeah, sometimes there would be like a gotcha, kinda. Sometimes, yeah, for sure.
But it's the trick is not to shove it down somebody's throat and say you are so dumb. It's like where'd you get this crap from?
Or like even you're so gross,
Right.
or you're so disgusting,
or you're so clueless.
Yeah, no, and that's the part that he didn't do, which is great,
Right?
Because like,
well, he did do that sometimes.
That would be if somebody really
was pushing the
buttons of something that's really wrong,
right?
And he's just like, that's usually when he already went through all the things and they keep coming back to this one thing and they just couldn't move. But you were talking about having the reluctancy because
we're going back to the very beginning, right? Of exposing.
A good tie-in, yeah.
Right.
You're exposed. We're on film. There's no film. But you're exposed right now on YouTube, and now all of a sudden there's going to be a bunch of people that have an opinion of what you have to think, which never was before because nobody knew what you think.
Yeah.
But the whole thing,
cared.
One cool thing that I heard, there's a lot of cool things, but one of the cool things that I heard Joe Rogan say over and over again to some of his guests that were worried about what the comments were saying, right? He said, never read the comments. And they'd be like, what do you mean, never? He's like, never. He's like, when he first started, he would read the comments and it would bother him to where he couldn't sleep. He would get on there and type responses out of pure anger, the rage thing that we've all had.
Fell into that.
Even when you talk to certain family members and you're enraged and you do those kind of texts. He said that he would do that kind of thing. And I forgot which comedian told him, or if it was even a comedian, but told him, never read the comments. And he's like, never? No. Why? And he goes by that now for years and years, and he doesn't read any comments. And
so he doesn't. He says, "What other people say and think about me is none of my business."
Right. It's so obvious, right? But one of the guests, because he's told this to many people, but one of the guests says, "Well, what about giving back to the community that watch you? Like give them a little, hey, thanks for watching." He's like, "No, this is the gift to them, is the conversation I'm having and letting them listen to it." And I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, so when it comes to like you don't need to worry about nothing like that because it's gonna happen. People are gonna.
What am I gonna worry about? I'm walking into Home Depot and somebody comes and hits me over the head with a 2x4.
I always worry about that. No.
Do you?
Every day.
Get out of here.
I do. I think it's gonna.
No,
happen.
Do you?
No.
Get out of here.
No. One point in my life, I was the most paranoid about getting attacked was when I was doing the most wrong.
This guilty conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would be worried about going to the restaurants and everything with my brothers. Like, I don't know if I should go, And they're like, why? They didn't
always make sure you have the wall to your back and you can see the front door.
Yeah, that's how I would do it, even in my own house.
That's still how I do it in your own house.
Yeah, those are bad days. Those were my worst of worst days.
So here's something I'd like to bring to light. What is the purpose of what we talked about doing? What is our real purpose? I mean, what is we just talk at random?
That for sure. Yeah. That's going to be our regular. Our regular thing is having a regular conversation,
right?
Which you could feel right now in your own body. It's almost not regular because we already know that we're being, But I'm saying you could feel it a little bit.
It's a little twang,
right? There's a twang in your head going. Why would I feel any different? Yeah, there's a camera.
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one of the weirdest things that I've noticed doing a little sit down and recording it. Is there's something in your body that goes, hey, there's a camera on me right now.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. And so we'll get over that.
Yeah. I'm all right.
Well, yeah, you're doing good. I feel like I'm pretty comfortable, but this is the new podcast, and we don't have a name for it yet. And we're not even worried about a name, but we're going to start putting out videos. If you happen at home to see it and you like it, subscribe.
Putting out.
Put it out, baby. We're just going to put it out. We're going to put out.
Put out.
You got to put out. That's the Put Out podcast.
Maybe it is the Put Out.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
huh?
put out with us.
Got it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so but the idea is if you look at the biggest podcasts in the world, right?
Mhm.
Which is almost the new media. It is putting a stomping on all television media as we know it. They're the ones talking to President Putin, Trump and everybody at will, whoever
Right.
wants to come and talk. And not that we're that big at all, but the idea is those guys usually have a premise for their podcasts. The one guy that I mentioned earlier almost never has a premise. If he's talking to an astrophysicist, well, then he knows what he's going to be talking about. But sometimes he'll have buddies on. You're my buddy. You're my popa. And so usually those are like, what you been up to lately? Really?
Mhm.
I thought it could be a 3-hour conversation I've seen on his podcast where he's just, what you been up to lately? And they get in it and they get to a subject and then they could relate and then they could carry on. But I think that when you and me start having guests, which we will have guests, then we could switch it up to, hone in on a certain subject instead of random
Mhm.
stuff. But it doesn't mean we can't do some homework in between podcasts for some current events that we're comfortable of talking about. And so,
Or a subject matter.
right.
Right.
It doesn't need to
Right.
be like, today Syria took major hit Lebanon, and we don't need to talk about anything specific.
Yeah.
But if you see something, you're like, hey, let's get in on that. You don't even have to tell me. Just bring it up. Say, hey, by the way, did you hear this?
Yeah.
And then I say, no, well, tell me about it. Or if it's something that you want me to say, hey, I want you to check this out. This is good. I want you to come up with your opinion about this thing that happened. I'm going to come up with the one. Normally I could just tell you what happened, but this is kind of big. I want you to come up with your own opinion as well.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I can say, okay, I better.
Yeah,
check
that's
this
what
out.
Gutfeld does.
Yeah, Gutfeld's great.
Yeah, he has his the people he has on. He gives them homework assignment
Yep.
to do some research before he has them on the air.
Yeah.
So you can see a lot of them use their phone and they read from whatever.
Mhm. Some
but they
people
do
will
their
have their laptop right here, and so Gutfeld. What's her name? Megan Kelly.
yeah.
Tucker Carlson, Patrick Bet-David, they all have a list of
Yeah.
things that they're
Right.
going to be talking about for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
And so what do those guys have in common?
Whatever.
They are media people.
Right.
They are talking about what's happening around the
Right.
world normally.
Right.
And so that's what they have in common. That's what they have in common. So, and then you go from there to other entertainment, which like Joe Rogan he will go into what's happening around the world. Even if he's talking to his buddy, he'll just kind of mention something and then they'll kind of get on it and then get off of it again. But that's what they have in common. Gutfeld is news. Megan Kelly is news. Tucker Carlson is news.
Mhm.
They're all newscasters
Right.
and real journalists too. And so it doesn't mean that we can't do that. But we could definitely touch bases on that idea and coming up with a couple of current events, because there's so much happening that it'd be almost criminal. Not
So
to.
what I would like to do is, because there's so much out there that's not being touched upon, that has something to do with, but not the something to do with means it's more peripheral to that something, but that brings it more. It's like, for instance, the skill set of our young people coming into the job marketplace,
Oh yeah.
and how AI is affecting. Now, AI is a big twang in the news of late, and how many Amazon just is laying off 20,000 people or something like that because AI is gonna take over those jobs. That's just the first shoe to drop. It's gonna just escalate into that. The more data centers that are built, and
Yeah.
AI gets to be more.
Yeah, they said just like Amazon. So that's kind of like what's that called when a bunch of people work a line?
Assembly line.
Yeah, Amazon's like a big assembly line.
Right.
Have you ever been to a real Amazon warehouse?
I've seen it on.
They are the biggest thing you've ever
Huge.
been in.
Yeah.
And so I worked at one doing demolition, and our job, we were doing concrete cutting. We were cutting the floors, demolishing part of the floor so they could put in pipes and stuff. But it was impressive. I've never even been in any building I felt at the time that big, which I've probably been in a stadium and said, okay, maybe it is bigger. But anyway, so it's an assembly line. So when you see them working, and just as you know, this person has this job that switches to this person, that person, you could see AI could take over, especially office jobs of Amazon super easily. And then, it makes me wonder if it's all AI, all the office jobs, and they get hacked, then they're in big trouble if they have nobody. If they don't have a really good amount of guys say, "Hey, we got hacked on this. You need to do manual stuff right now." You know what I mean, or something like that. But all the assembly line jobs, factory stuff, which we don't have too much of, but I guess we're gonna start getting more here and there, supposedly. But factory stuff is supposed to be very robotic and AI in the future. But what's not going to change? No, really, like that's the question.
What's not going to change?
Yeah, what can AI not take over?
It cannot take over the true grit of picking up a hammer, putting a nail through a piece of wood, and building a structure to pouring concrete.
Yeah.
There could be, there are actually 3D printing houses.
I've seen it.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
There is that.
But
yeah.
how much equipment do you need? Whereas you can get a bunch of whatever Mexicans or whatever, any groups now
Yeah.
that are coming coming into our country, whether they're legal or not, doesn't matter. Okay, so that opens up a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
People from other countries that are coming here that have skill sets that we have lost teaching, and actually the hands-on parts that we used to have 30, 40 years ago, because now it's like you better go to college, you better get a college degree and get a job. Well, in those countries, they're coming here and they have the ground level how to dig, and they're not always the best. That there's a certain engineering skill set that needs a mindset that needs to be put into that. But this is something that just triggered into my head. A guy up in Grizzly, the friend of mine, John Tuttle's house that burned down during the fire, the Caldor fire. They bought his property, and I've known these guys. They had bought the property next door, and after John Tuttle's house burned down, he died before his house burned down, which is kind of sad. But anyway, the father was Dianne Feinstein's security at her house. He was the head security guy at her house. Well, Dianne Feinstein died about a year ago. Huh?
She died in her chair at Congress.
Did she? At home? Whatever.
That's a joke, because she was so old when she...
Oh, okay.
When she was in the house, she was still kicking. But yes, okay.
Yeah, she was still a part of the Senate.
Oh, by far,
a senator, and she still had some clout. Anyway, so he lost his job. So he ended up getting a job at the building department in downtown San Francisco. And so did his son, Toma. Maybe I shouldn't use the name.
So him, the security guy, and his son.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And the son was a computer guy, tech guy that did different things, build apps and stuff. That's why I consulted with him about the app that we were developing that still hasn't gone anywhere. And then they both shifted to the building department. So I asked him yesterday when I saw him briefly, so how's it going? You guys going to be building a house here and stuff? Oh yeah, well I think it's going to be in February, but so you guys still working for the building department? He goes, oh yeah. He has a really thick, they're from Bulgaria.
Oh yeah.
very thick Bulgarian accent,
Yeah.
right? And the guy across the street, Ennis, he's a Croatian and from Bosnia, Croatia,
Yeah.
and he makes jokes about the Bulgarians. They're just a lazy bunch of sloths and stuff. But anyway, but anyway, there's a whole nother story to that.
Are
But
they friendly or no together?
yeah,
Oh, good. Good.
but they laugh at each
They
other.
talk crap.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They're
they're
having
back
fun.
and forth because they're different. They have different
And
traditions
they know.
and different foods.
But they're right there.
Their
kind of
big
by-
focus is the central focus is of their culture is food.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's always about food.
Yeah.
Everything else is first it's
Secondary,
food
yeah.
and drinking.
Yeah.
Those two.
Vodka.
Yeah. So anyway, so I asked him, so how did you transition from a security guard to a building department? I mean, where did you get the expertise to be a building inspector? Because it takes a little bit more skill. And he goes, I've had all the physics, I had all the math and all that stuff. That's what we learned in school.
Isn't that, yeah.
I said, you mean you went to college? He goes,
No, high
no,
school.
we learned this in regular school before we're 17, 18 years old. We have all that. Plus, they can speak five languages
They have to
fluently.
speak 3, I think. Yeah.
Fluently.
That's same with Norway. They have to speak, I think, 3 or 4 languages, period.
Yeah.
It's not like if you want to do this.
And why is that? Because they are so tightly interconnected in that small area, Europe and Scandinavia.
Yeah.
And so Ennis just told me, I said, he's got a house back there. He just came back from there last week. I said, so how's it going? He goes, can't find any contractors. He goes, why? Because they're all in Germany working. That's where the money is. There's no money in Croatia. It's like, and I looked at the population of Croatia or Bosnia and stuff. What do you think the population there is?
Bosnian War.
We can cheat.
1984. I'm gonna guess. 5 million.
Somewhere around 5 to 6 million.
Because they had the Exodus in 1984.
And under Clinton, the UN, they painted our aircraft and put UN on it and bombed the crap out of the Christians in favor of
it's always the Christian.
In favor of the Muslims. We did that.
I know that we also did the bombs over Iwo. Did you know that's the most Christian concentrated groups was Iwo and Nagasaki. Yeah. That's where all the Christians were in Japan. We're just like, yeah, that's okay.
You can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't. No.
It's historically. I mean, it's etched in stone.
Yeah.
But the point is, what do they have there? And then they come here, and we kind of like look at them like a bunch of foreigners. They're carrying a lot of the horsepower. They're putting in the horsepower that our workforce graduating from high school can't even hold a candle to. When remedial reading and math is now the first 2 years of a regular 4-year college education of people who graduate high school in the United States. Isn't that sick?
Well, it's way more insane. It's like the worst.
It's
pretty much.
It's
for verbatim. I'm saying for how many people we have here versus all the other countries that are very, very small. The size of California.
Yeah. California is huge.
No, but I'm saying the countries that are as big as California.
There's very few countries that are as big.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But like Croatia, and Bulgaria. And all these
they're not even as big as El Dorado County.
Okay. But what I'm saying is this verbatim, for how many people we have, the amount of neglect or purposeful neglect that they put into our education is like criminal, because if you don't want your people to have any chance at all at rising or having any voice in your country, you would do what they're doing to us.
The control.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
And it's like, it's always amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing only that it's so sad that it's gotten to the point so quickly that California, so I'm from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Jersey and California were always the top 2 in high school graduates that were able to go into a higher professional skill set, higher learning. California is now way down. I don't know if I think they're like 38th or whatever out of 50 states. New Jersey is, I think they slipped below 10. I think they're 11th now.
Yeah.
Mississippi is rising. You think
Yeah.
Mississippi's just a bunch of dune clappers and inbreds? No, we have before.
That's
Well, that's what I always used to think.
Well,
right?
it's okay. You can't.
I mean, my brother lived.
Okay, so
lived in
Mississippi
I was
is rising. Why?
because they have a structure that they put into their education system
That we don't
where
have.
their demands are you better know the basic stuff.
Gosh, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, whereas California is
And that's supposed to be this should be the demand for
Yeah.
every single person
right.
in school. Now, just we're gonna hold on. I'm gonna check the camera, make sure it's still filming.
It's like so. It's sad because the amount of energy that's pumped into all this peripheral noise that it produces nothing but controls people more and more and takes them way far out away from what they should be learning so that they can be productive, so they can serve in a way to take care of their families and take care of their community and society on a whole. Those are the things that are like, well, you don't have to worry about it. We'll take care of that. That's why we have these different programs where if you're starving, you can go over there and it's no longer a food stamp that you have to rip off and hand somebody because that's embarrassing. It looks like a credit card,
Yep.
So now you make more and more and more and more people dependent upon the system. And that's why this stinking federal government shutdown, which is going into its second month now,
Yep.
is creating such a wave of the babies. It's like, what is it? Kamala Harris was just recently on talking about they're worried about, they're putting in a ballroom in the White House. They should be thinking about the starving babies that they're taking their food away instead of this ballroom. It's like, hello.
Well, also Obama, who I voted for, Obama spent
$350 million.
on renovations.
Yes.
Now,
and that was taxpayer money.
That was taxpayer money.
Yes.
And Trump, to begin with, right away because he knew what was coming, right away before he ever broke ground or anything like that, he's like, this is all my money and donors' money.
Right.
This is not coming out of by the way, I'll say it again a week later. This is not taxpayer. They can't say anything about it because there's a whole thing now you can look at the whitehouse.gov
mm-hmm.
and it has a timeline of all renovations since the fire. I forgot what year the fire happened. They burnt down the White House.
Oh yeah.
You know
twice.
what I mean?
Wasn't it twice?
Maybe twice, but
or was it Philadelphia?
I don't know.
They had to move it to Philadelphia or something.
Yeah. Well,
that's something to look at.
And you can check that out. It shows you a timeline of every single renovation that was made. Roosevelt put this.
Was that on YouTube? You saw it?
No, it's on whitehouse.gov.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny. He put all this stuff, and then he added one, and it says like 2022, Biden fell off his chair.
Real?
Yeah, for real. He really did that.
Oh, Trump.
He talks crap.
Yeah.
And which was just kind of funny. But
that's pretty funny.
But the educational part is it actually has and I don't know if it always has. Maybe it did always have all of the renovations that have taken place. And it's cool to look at because you see the history of this building that is the White House. In a way that you just don't see. I mean, you see these old images of muddy dirt around the White House. It's just kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, what he's doing right now, the ballroom, is it important compared to things even that we're personally going through? No, it's not. But go ahead and put that anywhere you want to.
Oops.
Magnet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Reversed. Is it reversed?
There it is. Okay.
And then there's a little screen on there. You can put the screen towards you. See a little screen? Yeah, right there.
Right there?
Yep. Put that towards your face.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyways, what was I saying?
The White House, the renovation, the dirt. But if you saw... This is good. I like
good
it.
content.
But
But anyway, no, let's think about it. So the White House, oh yeah, what I was saying is this.
oh, do they need a ballroom?
Do they need a ballroom? No, they don't need a ballroom. We know they don't need a ballroom, but is it going to be a beautiful ballroom?
the most beautiful?
It's going to be the most beautiful. Yeah. And so, like, we can do a lot of things to save money, billions and billions of dollars. But he just made a deal with South Korea.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is gonna be bringing in like $300 billion like right away,
Yeah.
and then like more and more. What was it for? Did you remember or no?
It's bringing some of the tech industries back to the U.S. that are in South Korea.
Yeah, that's awesome, and also part of it's to lower their tariffs that we have on them.
And then they gave him a crown because he is a king.
Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, that's so funny.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
but so good. Here in defense of the ballroom, this is what Trump said. He says, you know, we have dignitaries and people from all over the world coming to the United States to come to the White House. For us to all gather, we gather outside under a tent.
No, that's how they were doing it. Yeah, that is stupid.
Under a tent.
Yeah,
he goes,
that's true.
Yeah, when we go to their capitals and to their places,
they have everything.
They have
right
these
there.
palaces, these luxuries, like, and yet we're supposed to be this big leader in the world.
The leader.
Huh?
The leader.
The leader.
Yeah.
And we bring them into a tent outside. So that's why I'm building the most beautiful ballroom.
Yeah, that is true. And I'm not going to argue against that because it's true. Because the whole thing, what he was doing, that's what Obama had. There's plenty of images of these huge circus tents with everybody out there. Excuse me. But what Trump ended up doing is he'd take them to Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. You know, he would have big meetings at Mar-a-Lago with big people because he's like, I'm not going to bring these people to a tent because Trump knows that lifestyle. He's like, I ain't going to a tent. I'm Trump. Even before my presidency, I was Trump. I've never spent I wonder if he's ever spent a night in a tent. The wife is here. You can't hear her because she's not mic'd up. She's saying, she's actually do this and that. I'm like, yeah, right.
It just gave me.
She already had me do the dishes. I did the dishes for my wife today. Yikes.
Well, I've been taking out the trash and doing all that and changed all the clocks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Put myself in jeopardy climbing up things.
Yeah.
Because we have a clock every 3 feet in our house. Because, you know.
You got a lot of stuff. He actually has a watchtower with the guns up there, like 50 caliber, all remote turrets.
Yeah, and they're manned.
They're manned.
24/7.
AI.
Yeah.
AI man.
Ain't nobody messing. As a matter of fact, I just got a notice. What did it shoot? Darn it. Done.
The neighborhood cat.
No, is the husband.
Oh, bummer.
Told him not to come over.
That's a bummer.
He's feeding our cats, but AI didn't know there must be a glitch in the algorithm.
All right. Anyways, if you enjoyed this is our first one. We are going to change a lot. We're going to change location. We are going to have a new studio, and that's going to happen. We don't know when. We're going to try not to procrastinate. It's not on our top 5 list of what we need to do in our lives because we have lives, but we want to keep going. And I think this went well. What do you think?
Yeah. Felt comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. It's like we've done this before.
Had a good flow.
Yeah, it's like this is my notes.
Yeah.
This is our notes.
It's my notes.
That's right. But yeah, it's comfortable.
It can only get better.
I hope so. This is what? Wilfried. Tell them who you are.
I'm Wilfried.
Wilfried what? Just tell them. Don't be scared.
Don't
be scared of the Matrix. Yes.
Well fried or burnt. Either way, I'm toasted.
Yeah. Wolf from the Hill never worked and never will.
That's right.
I'm Eric Frankie. This is my wife's Popa, and he's one of my best friends, and he has a good outlook on life, and he has a lot of things that he's going to discuss, especially for the young, youthful man.
Speaking of youthful man, we have a lot of grandchildren and a lot of great-grandchildren.
That's right. It's not just guessing about life. He has family in it. So
yeah, and then we want to bring something we want to bring something that not only between us, but maybe somebody can take something away and plug it into their own lives. How's that?
That's perfect. All right, you guys take it easy. Thank you, Popa.
Yes, sir.